Hey everybody, Captain B and day 4 of our little adventure. And where are we going? Nowhere. We're not going to go anywhere today. We're actually going to stay put because we are in Lakefield and it's absolutely beautiful. We got a beautiful day. We're drying everything out from yesterday's little adventures. And as you can see, there's nobody here right now. All the boats left this morning on to other places, and we'll see if we get another crew this afternoon, but we're gonna go visit Lakefield. This waterway is actually just adjacent to the actual canal. So this is the river and one of the few dams along the way that actually produces electricity here in Lakefield. An innovative way to grow your tomatoes. The Trent Severn waterway in Lakefield and the Lakefield Marina. So just on the other side of that cement wall is the channel that takes you down to the Lakeview Lock. And here is the river coming on down to this particular spillway, or this dam. You'll recognize the little railway portion. The dam is actually flowing just beneath my feet. Through the grates and into the other side. But remember, the last dam we visited was all these giant wooden logs that were cut and pressed together to hold back the water. And as you modernize these particular facilities, they're replacing those with these giant steel beams that will replace the wooden logs to hold back the water here at the dam. Pretty cool. So we're in Lakefield, obviously, and back in the 1890s there was a late 1880s, I'm not sure exactly what the date was, there was a Lakefield Canoe Company, and they started making boats, and wooden boats, wooden canoes. And over time, the company changed hands and ownership a number of times, but it eventually became known to be Lakefield Boats. And they made mostly wooden boats, cedar strip boats, runabouts and whatnot. And they made that for quite a few years, but they eventually ended up going out of business, I believe in the 60s, and then a group of investors in the 60s purchased the assets and the factory, and the thinking was that they could use the tooling and the expertise of the labor pool that they had here to change from one business to the other. And they stopped making, they obviously went out of business making boats, and they started making firearms. And here behind me is the Savage Arms factory, where they've actually been making 22 rimfire rifles since the 60s, and that factory is right here in Lakefield. There's a view of the Lakefield lock from obviously the other side of the waterway where we are, and the lower side of that lock. Still pretty quiet at the lock. We are back for lunch. Off on another trail. So we have visited Lakefield basically from top to bottom, I think, today, and we enjoyed a nice lovely trail, visited the downtown, and had an awesome day. The weather was perfect, just a slight breeze, not too cool, not too warm, and there's an outdoor store that sells all kinds of sups and kayaks and stuff, and we were able to take that in today, which was a nice treat as well. So I think we're done for today. Tomorrow, morning looks okay. We're probably gonna hit rain in the afternoon. We have 140 kilometers to get home. We have 6 locks to do to get there. So we're gonna start the trip. We're gonna get going early in the morning and try to get ahead of the weather, but we know we're gonna hit it. Just a question of how bad it's gonna be and how much rain we're gonna get, and whether or not there's gonna be thunderstorms involved. We hope to avoid all of that, but just in case, we're not taking chances, and we're gonna be lines in quite early tomorrow to hit that first lock, which I think is Young's Point is where we're going to be, back at that lock. The good thing is we don't really care about the wind anymore because we are locking up, and each time you lock up you come into the bottom of the lock, so you're always protected by the breezes that are around. You just need to watch the currents coming off the dam, and then you lock up, you hit the wind at the top side, but usually that's a lot more manageable than the other way around. So we're not real concerned. Wind should not be a problem. Rain is in the forecast, so we'll have to see if we have to put up with some of that. But we had such a tremendous day here today. Really enjoyed our time in Lakefield. So until tomorrow, this is Captain B saying keep the bottom side wet and the top side dry.